You may think you know about Luke Crouch Strong, but you don't really know about Luke Crouch Strong. You don't really know about this. So the thing about Crouching Medium Punch from Luke is that, okay, let me break it down. Basically, in terms of lights, like light strings, right? If you do this, you're +1, but you can't cancel anything. You have to do a 4-framer or a 5-framer or something. And then once you do your stand jab, you're -2, because all your, with the exception of like Zangief, all your lights are minus. Now, in terms of light block strings, most characters, they can do like 2 or 3 lights in a block string, and then their last one will be -1 for most characters. A couple of characters are -2. Luke, Cammy, Guile, someone else, whatever. And then only 2 characters in the game, their lights, the light that they end a string with is -3. And that is Chun and Marisa, whose lights are just really all around terrible in general. Now, what this means basically is that, say you do your Cammy here, and you do like you get a knockdown in mid-screen or whatever, block after first hit, you dash up, you're not quite point blank, you're not quite here in front of his face, but you're very close and you're +11, and you do that, and then let's say you do like a little walk up, and then you're light, you do that, and then you do like light, and then whatever, right? So something like that, that's the idea. Depends on how close you are able to get to. So, but something like that, right? Now, if you do it like this, you can't do 2 lights in a rapid cancel because all your rapid cancel buttons won't work. You have to do standing light kick, but standing light kick isn't a frame trap. It isn't a frame trap because you can't rapid cancel it. So what you're actually doing is a -2 light punch into a 5-frame light kick, which means that there is a 6-frame gap in between those 2 actions. Now, most of the game is designed around this, right? Most of the game incorporates so that if they do, like, let's say he reversals with his 4-framer. Then he can interrupt it, but he's not in range for it, per se. So if it whiffs, you can just do something else. Or he can do his 5-frame light kick. And he can interrupt me, but again... And he can actually lock me down like this. I'm holding backwards to walk. I could try backdashing. Or holding up back. I get clipped either way. However, light kicks are designed in this way where you can't really get much off of them. He would have to heavily commit to just doing light kick, drive rush cancel, which, if I'm blocking, and he does light kick, drive rush cancel, I can just jab it. I can just interrupt it and punish it. I don't even need to use an invincible move. I can just beat it. So, most of the game, keeps that in mind, most of the characters' 5-frame lights are around the same range. Some are significantly shorter, but a lot of characters have pretty far-reaching ones, like Ryu, Ken, DJs, Blankas, etc. Cammy, Luke have these 5-frame lights that reach about this range. Some of them slightly better, some of them slightly worse. Some characters have really mediocre ones and don't have lights that reach anywhere near that. Jury has really bad lights, etc. Marisa has really bad lights. Dulcim's lights, not great. But, so, you have 4-framers, which are designed for whatever. You have 5-framers, which are designed to occupy this space, but you generally can't confirm off of it or counter it or anything. And if you commit to drive rushing it, some characters can't even get a combo if they just do raw light kick or raw 5-framer drive rush. Like Ken. Ken cannot get a combo if the opponent just jumps backwards. If he does this, he's not plus enough to even get a 4-framer off of that. It has to be counter hit, at least. So, like, the game is very, for the most part, is very consistent about the way 4-framers, 5-framers, and 6-framers work. And 7-framers. So some characters, once we get to 6 and 7-framers is when we start to see major differences. 6-framers, okay. So in this instance, if I'm Cammy and I do my whatever knockdown, and I do crouch, fierce, stand, jab, okay, what 6-framers am I worried about? Because the 6-framer is one that will interrupt me doing light kick afterwards. A 5-framer or a 6-framer will stop me from doing that. Now, we're talking about his 5-framer here. In this particular instance, we can do an extra light. This is one thing that you can do against some of these sequences, is you can just whiff an extra light like that, and you can, in fact, with Cammy, do it into heavy spiral, because the counter hit guarantees that if you clip a button. Like so. But if for 6-framers, things that will interrupt, usually most 6-framers are pretty stubby in this game. Most 6-framers are either lights from characters that just are designed to have longer reaching lights, like Lily, Zangief, Marisa, etc. Or mediums that are like fast but stubby combo starters. So like something like this, really stubby, has less range than the light kick does anyways. Most of the 6-frame mediums are like this. Ryu, Ken, Chun, I think, wait, Chun's a 6-frame. They all have 6-frame crouch strongs, but they're very stubby, okay? So they won't actually reach at this range to reach Cammy here. You know, if I did this against Ryu, his crouch strong would just whiff. However, Luke, for some abhorrent reason, his crouch strong has the range of a 7-framer, even though it's a 6-framer. So, and even then, some 7-framers, so the characters with like really good 7-framers that hit far fast, and thus make it difficult for Cammy to just walk out. For instance, if I have Jamie do crouch medium kick after 2 blocks. If I do that, I can't walk backwards out of this, but I can jump. I can't walk backwards. I can't, barely backdash at this spacing. But, yeah, if I were to do my stand short, I would trade. Now, the trade is not necessarily in Cammy's favor, but it doesn't really matter. It's no one really gets any meaningful reward off of this for a 5-framer trading with a 7-framer in this instance. However, so that's how 7-framers work, and the characters with good 7-framers are the ones with the 7-frame crouch medium kick, so Jamie, Ken, Chun, and Rashid all have really good ones. Kimberly's is 7 frames for crouch medium kick, but it doesn't reach quite far enough for it to be threatening in this space. You can avoid it pretty easily just through spacing or pushback. But then you also have other 7-framers, so Manon standing medium punch, Chun back medium punch, back or forward medium punch, Zangief stand light kick, Guile stand heavy punch, and Luke stand medium kick, which is probably the least threatening out of all of these options because it's not cancelable. It's the only one of the moves that I just listed that's not special cancelable. So those are the really, really long-reaching, dastardly 7-framers that make it difficult for the characters with -3 lights. Like, for instance, if I go to Chun, right, this is a good example. If I go to Chun, Zangief is a giant pain in the ass for her to do. Like, let's say she just does block, count, whatever, block for all, and then reversal, stand light kick after, let's say, yeah. If I do that, I am in range for... I'm -3. If Chun-Li does the medium punch, it means that she will not be able to get back charge to cancel her stand light into a fireball. But even then, let me demonstrate. If I put him with a light screwdriver, pile driver, SPD, I'm going to do light, light, light fireball. It still loses to SPD. So this -3 jab, actually pretty detrimental in certain matchups especially. EX fireball, can't cancel it in time. Her stand jab is her only button that reaches this far. She wouldn't be able to do proper block string if the opponent stands up, as they can, like here. Her other 4-framer, it's hard to tell because it looks like I'm doing a 3-string, but that doesn't work if the opponent starts walking backwards. So she has to do stand jab, which is going to be -3, which means she is at the immediate mercy of either SPD, or if she tries to jump backwards, stand light kick will hit her. And then he can do stand light kick drive rush. He can commit to that because he can do that into a true block string anyways. And so if she does this block string, Zangief immediately gets to take advantage of the -3, and then Chun has to guess instantly. So that's the disadvantage of having a -3 light. But in this instance, like I said, most of the game is designed pretty consistently. Except for Luke Crouch Strong, okay? There's like 4 other pretty good medium punches, and Aki might actually be up there too, as with her standing medium punch is also a ridiculous 6-framer. But, like, look at this. So, for instance, if Ed is a character that also has a 6-framer that reaches farther than most 6-framers, so I will now demonstrate. So, if the Cammy does whatever, you can do stand short with Ed, and you beat pretty much everything Cammy can do here after the -2. She can't move. She can't jump backwards. She can't backdash. She can't do stand light kick. You beat the vast majority of options. She can perfect parry this. She can do whatever, but for the most part, this is essentially jailing her. So, very few characters have 6-framers that reach that far, and the ones that do are lights. That's important. Ed only gets this little hit off of it for having a move that is 6 frames that reaches that far to interrupt these things, okay? The other characters are Lily, with obviously her crouch jab, Zangief with his crouch jab, both 6 frames, really far range. Can't get much off of them, or otherwise you'd have to do a huge commitment. Like, Lily could do crouch jab, EX Wind Condor Spire or something, and that'd be fine, but you get with that idea. It's not like the reward of like a medium or a heavy into drive rush, you know? You can see where I'm going with this. The only characters that are not designed like every single other character in the entire fucking game in this regards are Luke and Aki. And Luke is by far and away the one on everyone's shit list, but I will explain with Aki as well. That's nuts for a meterless conversion that you can just interrupt with a 6-framer that has the range that the movesets of these characters are just not designed. Here's the thing. Most characters have like a light block string that like has a relatively similar amount of pushback. Most of the characters, some of them push back more than others, but most of them, by the time you can't do any more lights anymore, you're about at this range. Maybe around here, maybe the characters with the much shittier lights are around here. But like, and the characters with like huge lights that are the grapplers can push out to like all the way out here with the light block string. But most characters, they just do, like, I don't know, tap, tap, tap on block, and now they're here. Which, they're minus, they're usually in low forward range, but they're not supposed to be in 6-frame range. They're just not supposed to be in 6-frame range. But with Aki and Luke, they are. So, I need to demonstrate, like, Cammy versus Luke. Block after first hit, crouching medium punch. Can't walk backwards, it'll clip me, and he can just drive rush that into offense. Can't backdash, clips you. Can't jump out, clips you. Can't standing light kick, beats you, counter hit. You actually can't even do the jab, like, whiff jab, like you can. Usually against most of these moves, you can do, like, a light and then just rapid cancel it into another light to beat, like, the 7-framers or the 8-framers or something. But it's a combination of Luke's crouching medium punch has so much range for a 6-framer, and is a medium that, like, jails into a true block string with a drive rush and gets huge reward on counter hit. And not only that, it's one of the best personal hurt box extensions right at the start of the move of any move. So, usually, with Cammy, you would be able to do jab, jab like that, and the jab would hit his extended hurt box if he tries to full out a 5-framer, 6-framer, 7-framer. So if I have him to do light kick like this, that would work. See? The double jab beats him. Doesn't work for Crouch Strong! There's nothing Cammy can do except for fucking perfect parry. But anyways, don't tell the cap cops that Aki has an instance that is arguably just as broken as that. Maybe less damage output and stuff, but still. Aki should probably not have that standing medium punch of hers either. But yeah. Fuck you, Luke.